folks, so today's video is day number 1 using one palette a week, and this week is using the dark matte palette from Viseart. Basically I picked up both the dark matte palette as well as the neutral matte palette in the Sephora VIB sale. And I was sort of desperately wanting to use this palette for a week just because all the shadows are dark, they're matte. I love matte eyeshadows, you guys know it's like my favorite, and so I feel like this week is going to be a lot of dark smoky eyes just based off of like the colors in this palette. So I am going to try to use just the colors in this palette for a week, but because they're dark and we'll see how they sort of blend out and that kind of thing, I may have to pull in a couple of lighter neutral shades just to help blend. So today's look, I used the shades in this palette that I was most excited to use, which was sort of this olive green, this orange, and this dark orange here. Yeah, this is the first time that I'm using this palette on the eyes, so throughout this week not only do you guys get to see sort of my 5 looks that I'm able to pull from this palette, but you guys also get to see, so you kind of get first impressions of all the shades as well when I apply them. So from what I can tell so far, these eyeshadows are the bomb. I've heard nothing but good things about them from a lot of YouTubers whose opinions I really respect. I used 3 of them today and I'm already like, yep, worth the money. Probably my favorite makeup look that I've done in the last like 6 months. I'm not even kidding. I am obsessed with this. Okay, so for this palette, there isn't really any shade names because it is sort of just a professional palette. It's just like, here's your mattes. I'm going to kind of tell you guys at the beginning of each of my videos which ones that I'm using. So I'm going to be using this olive green shade in the corner here. This is pretty much the reason why I bought this palette, was for this green shade and also this orange. I had never really seen colors quite like that before, so those are the ones that I'm like, I have to get this palette. So from what I can tell just from seeing other people's swatches, doing my own, and applying like literally just this eye, like this is the only thing that I've done really to play with these colors, is that they blend super well, and the color that you get in the pan is exactly what you get on your eye. So I'm using a 217 as well as a MAC 239. Alright, so I'm going to dip into that olive green shade on my 217, and then this is going to go right into my crease. So I want to just show you guys just how amazing and pigmented these apply. It's crazy. One thing that I've also found is that they blend out really well and you're able to build up color to get the true intensity. So depending on how strong you go in with the color and how much pressure you put on your brush, it's really going to determine like sort of the true intensity of that shade, which is exactly how I like to work with my mattes. I like the option of being able to go in lightly and get a light wash of color, but then also building up the color to get sort of the maximum color that's in the pan, if that makes any sense. And then I'm just going to lightly take my brush and just start blending that up towards the brow bone as I did on this side. So now I'm going to take this bright orange and I'm literally just going to pick up, like, I'm not even kidding guys, I just dusted into that like baby dust. So just to pick up just a tiniest bit of the orange, and I'm going to use this to blend out the green on the top, because I find when you blend out this orange, it actually makes sort of like a nice yellow. Kind of looks weird when you blend it out with the green. So again, I'm like baby feathering this on very, very, very lightly to help blend that out. Oops. And you can see that I had like eyeshadow on my Alright, so the next I'm going to go into this bright orange. I'm going to take that on my MAC 239. I'm just going to pick up that color, like look at how bright that is. And I'm just going to place this all over my lid. Like damn, look at that! And it definitely is just doing that thing that really good matte eyeshadows do, that when you apply it close to another color, it almost just blends itself. It layers on top of the color that you already have there really, really well. So like I said, it basically blends itself. It's so easy, it's crazy. I'm also just going to dust off that brush a little bit. I'm going to go into the slightly darker orange, which is this one here. Picking up a little bit of that. That's going to go just on the outer corner. Alright, next I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the olive green. Just a little bit more on the fluffy brush, dust it off. This is going to go right underneath my eye. And I'm just going to really, really just blend that out and get it like down low. Alright, and then that is the finished eye look. Like, how easy is that? It took like 2 seconds to blend out. It's just, oh, like, I'm telling you, I don't know how I'm ever going to go back and work with like not good matte eyeshadows, because This just like is so easy, it's like not even funny. Alright, so that's what the finished eye looks like. So next, moving on to the face. I also picked up the Viseart Neutral Matte Palette, and I basically wanted to see if I could use this shade right here as a contour shade. It's kind of dark and purpley, but it didn't actually look too bad on this side. Dust it off, because when I put it on this side, it was like terrifying. Yeah, see? Alright, so that's what that looks like with the contour. Let me know down in the comments if it looks like turd. I haven't decided yet in person if I like it, but let me know. Alright, so then for blush, I went with Nars Orgasm, just a little bit of that on top. Not too much, just because I did want the focus really to be on the eyes. So for my foundation, I actually switched from the CoverGirl one to the Nars Sheer Glow one. Nars Sheer Glow is definitely actually the color that I am. Like if you guys step back and look at my chest, I actually am this pale. But the CoverGirl one is a little bit dark for me, but I actually like the sheen that it gives my skin. It doesn't make me look dead. This is actually the color that I really should be, but I find the actual foundation itself is a little bit more dry, and so it like, yeah, it's not my favorite foundation formula, but I really like the shade stuff. So there's really only one lipstick color that I wanted to wear with this, because when I swatched this eyeshadow color, I went, okay, what is the most perfect color that matches that? Oh, is it not Lime Crime Trouble? Because they're pretty much the same color. So I've said it before, I'm not a fan of this formula for this lipstick in particular. It's really like one of the only two Lime Crime formulas that just don't work for me. For some reason, this color. Alright, so then this is the finished look with the lips applied. So far, day one, testing out this palette, love the formula of these eyeshadows. They're just beautiful, and I'm really excited to see what else I can get out of this. I couldn't really help myself and decided to do the colors that I was most excited to play with, which is a bad thing, because then now I have the rest of the week of looks with shades that, not that I'm not as excited for them, but I know that I'm just going to want to continue to use this olive green, like, for 5 days. But I'm going to try my best to use a lot of the other shades in the palette, at least try to use one of every shade just to see how they all blend out and that kind of thing. From what I can tell just from using this for just this look, this is by far some of the best mattes that I've ever used. Yeah, but they blended really nicely without having to bring in any other eyeshadows, so and that's a bonus. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if you guys are liking this series, if you like this palette, if you have it, if it's something that you've been thinking of buying. It definitely is a very expensive palette, but I'm very excited to use it for a week and see at the end of the week sort of my review and do I think it's worth it. So far it's looking good, because this eyeshadow texture is kind of unreal. So as always, new videos come out Monday to Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then my review for this palette will be on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys are all doing good, and until my next video, I will talk to all you soon. Bye!